Ever get that gut feeling something's off, but you can't quite pin it down? A hollow ache, like the truth staring you in the face, just out of focus. Picture Ethan, 32, messy brown hair, tired eyes carrying old guilt, sitting in his cluttered apartment. He's holding a freshly developed photo from his analog camera, a thrift store find, and his brow furrows. In the corner, there's a car he doesn't remember snapping. It's the same model as the one in the accident that killed his sister, Livia, years ago. Ethan took that photo in an empty parking lot on a rainy evening, just wet asphalt and faded lines. But there's the car, a blue sedan identical to the one he was driving that night. The license plate looks familiar but blurry, like someone tampered with the image. For a moment, everything goes dead quiet, and Ethan lets the photo slip, trying to convince himself it's just a coincidence. Tales of the Watcher, where fates are glimpsed, not told, and every step you take is seen by eyes you'll never meet. The air hums with secrets, daring you to listen. Stick around, subscribe for the journey, and in today's story, Ethan's like you, a freelance photographer scraping by, always with earbuds in to drown out his thoughts. He's not one to dig up the past, but this photo gets under his skin. Lately, he's been dreaming of the accident. The screech of tires, Livia's scream, the crash. He thinks it's just trauma, but this picture, it doesn't add up. The psychological tension builds, and he shoves the photo in a drawer, swearing to let it go. Ever tried to bury something that keeps clawing its way back? Ethan carries the guilt of that crash when he was behind the wheel and thinks he's moved on, but this photo reignites everything. He grabs the camera again, hesitant, feeling a tightness he can't explain. It's like someone put that car in the photo on purpose, a subtle clue he doesn't get. As he switches off the room's light, he hears a noise outside, a car engine, like it's parked right there. What would you do if the past threw a riddle in your face? Ethan feels a premonition, a growing mystery he can't shake. He's not the type to chase answers, just wants to keep moving forward. But that car in the photo feels like a secret someone wants him to uncover. And now, in the dark of his apartment, he hears the engine outside cut off. Who's messing with him? Ethan's apartment, in an old building in a small town's downtown, smells of stale coffee and darkroom chemicals. The floorboards creak and streetlight flickers through thin curtains, casting shadows that dance on the walls. He tries to forget the car photo, but the growing mystery won't let go. Today, developing another role, he found a new image with something odd. A hooded figure in the background, standing near the same blue sedan in a street he shot days ago. The date scrawled in the photo's corner is June 15th, 2025, 3 days from now. Who's tampering with these pictures? Ethan's not into conspiracy theories, but the psychological tension is tearing him apart. He dreams of the accident almost, every night now. The blinding headlights, the sound of impact, the silence after. In the mirror, his brown eyes look sunken, like he's carrying the world's weight. Yesterday, he found something weird, a car key, identical to the one from the crash inside the camera bag. It's like someone's dropping subtle clues, poking at the guilt he buried. Ever feel like the world's sending you a message you don't want to hear? Ethan does as he pores over the photos, searching for an explanation. He finds another image, the same hooded figure in an alley near his studio, dated tomorrow. The figure never shows their face, but they're always there, like they knew Ethan would snap the shot. He starts jotting down the dates, realizing they all point to days ahead, like a premonition he didn't ask for. The unsettling atmosphere in the apartment gets worse at night. The wind rattles the windows and Ethan hears an engine outside, same as last night. He tries to tell himself it's just a fluke, but curiosity mixes with a fear he won't admit. Today, a note showed up in his mailbox, no sender. You've already seen what you shouldn't. Ethan crumples it, but keeps it, sensing someone's playing a game with him. What if the truth was hiding in the things you overlook? Ethan starts noticing details he never did before. The living room clock stopped at 2:47, the exact time of Livia's accident. A chill hits him, like he's being followed, but he's got no proof. The camera, stashed on the shelf, seems to dare him to develop the next role. He hesitates but knows he has to see what's next. Who's behind this? Ethan's at his breaking point. He needs to figure out who's messing with him. He spreads photos, notes, and the mysterious letter across the table, heart racing as he tries to connect the dots between the future dates. He heads to the thrifter store where he got the camera and talks to Clara, a sharp-eyed woman who seems to know more than she says. She hands him an old notebook, saying it belonged to the camera's previous owner, a photographer who left things behind. The pages are filled with notes about a car accident and a name that chills Ethan, Livia. Back at the apartment, Ethan dives into the notebook, but a twist knocks him off balance. A photo glued inside shows the blue sedan with a newspaper clipping about Livia's accident, but the date is a year before what he remembers. How's that possible? The psychological claustrophobia swallows him, like the apartment's shrinking around him. He finds another photo in the camera, the hooded figure, now outside his building, dated today, June 12, 2025. For a moment, everything's silent, until he hears a noise on the stairs. Ever feel like you're racing against something you can't explain? Ethan's starting to doubt his own memory, but keeps digging. He finds a note in the camera bag, in handwriting he doesn't recognize. "You're looking the wrong way." The psychological tension is unbearable. He locks the doors, but the feeling of being followed sticks like glue. He checks his phone and sees a missed call from an unknown number at 2:47 a.m., the exact time of the accident. It's like someone stitching the past to the present, and he's caught in the thread. Sometimes, what you fear most is what you don't want to remember. Ethan feels it as he reads the notebook, which mentions someone who knew too much about the accident. Each new photo feels like a step in a game he doesn't understand, like someone wants him to find something. Livia's name pops up again, with an address Ethan knows, the intersection where it all happened. He stashes the notebook, but the growing mystery whispers he's close to something dangerous. What would you do if the truth cornered you? Ethan's exhausted, but curiosity pushes him forward. He grabs the camera, feeling it's the key, even if it's also a trap. The notebook's final scribble shows the blue sedan parked in an alley with a line, "The truth is where you least expect it." Ethan looks out the window and sees a blue car parked on the street. Who's driving? It. Ethan can't take it anymore. He bolts to the window, heart pounding, peering at the blue sedan parked outside. He grabs the camera, hands shaking, and races down the building's stairs, each step echoing like a drum in his chest. Outside, the car's empty, but a new photo's tucked under the windshield wiper. The hooded figure, now inside the building, at his apartment door, dated today, June 12, 2025. He sprints back up, the air thick with psychological tension, until he hears a sharp crack. His apartment door's ajar. For a moment, everything's silent, until glass shatters inside. Ethan steps in, clutching the camera like a weapon, sweat dripping down his forehead. The living room's a mess. Photos torn on the floor, table flipped, and a note pinned to the mirror. "You're so close." He finds a box he hasn't seen since the accident tucked in the closet, with Livia's documents, receipts, an address, a phone number he doesn't know. The premonition from the start hits hard, that feeling someone's guiding him to a painful truth. He opens a receipt and sees a name, Marcos, the mechanic who checked the car before the crash. Ever chase something that could break you? Ethan feels the ground shake as he connects the dots. The receipt mentions faulty brakes, but he was never told. He dials the number, but it goes to voicemail, a voice that sounds familiar. Marcos, who vanished after the accident. The psychological claustrophobia chokes him. He feels someone's orchestrating this, planting photos to lead him to the box. He hears an engine start outside, the same sound as the blue sedan, and rushes to the window. Then it all crashes. The apartment door slams shut, like someone just bolted out. Ethan chases the sound, racing down the stairs again, but trips on a loose step and falls, the camera flying from his hand. He wakes up on the lobby floor, aching, head foggy, no memory of how he got there. The camera's beside him and a new photo's developing, slow, like a gut punch resolution. He grabs it, but his eyes hesitate. What's it going to show now? Sometimes, the truth is a knife you hold yourself. Ethan's trapped in a loop of subtle clues and memories he tried to bury, with the weight of a sudden revelation that changes everything. The accident, Livia, the mechanic, someone knew something and hid it. He holds the photo, sensing the mystery still staring him down, waiting for his next move. What if the next picture reveals who's behind it all? Ethan's slumped on the apartment floor, surrounded by torn photos and glass shards, his chest tight with guilt and relief. The premonition that haunted him was a warning. The photos of the blue sedan and the hooded figure led him to Livia's box, where he found a receipt pointing to faulty brakes in the crash car. Someone, maybe Marcos, the mechanic, planted the photos to guide him to the truth. The accident wasn't just Ethan's fault, but a mistake someone covered up. He breathes deep, feeling he's shed a weight he carried for years, but the question lingers: who set up these clues in the camera? Ever feel the past gave you a second shot? Ethan now sees the photos were a trail to the truth, but the cost was reliving the pain of losing Livia. He finds a card in the box with a junkyard address and a strange symbol, like a coded message no one's cracked. The growing mystery hasn't ended, just changed hands. He feels he's become the bearer of a secret that could reach others. What would you do if you could rewrite an old guilt? Ethan asks himself this as he stares at the last photo. Himself at the crash intersection, dated tomorrow. The camera, now silent, seems to wait for the next click, like the immersive suspense never stops. He decides to take it back to the thrift store, but leaves the last roll with a note. Be careful what you find. Who's going to pick it up now? Ethan's story changed him, but the watcher knows not everything's been uncovered. The camera holds secrets beyond him, and the symbol on the card is a clue that could lead to others. Ever felt like you were being guided without knowing why? In the comments, tell us what you think. Who planted the photos in the camera, and what are they trying to reveal now? Your theories might unlock the next step, or maybe not. What if the next secret isn't yours, but belongs to someone you've never met? Ethan's free, but the camera's already in someone else's hands, ready to show what no one expects. The cycle goes on, and the mystery waits for whoever dares to click. What would you do if you found that camera? Grab your flashlight, because the next story's already out there, somewhere. This is Tales of the Watcher, where shadows tell what eyes dare not see. Until the next story, keep watching.